are going to be cooking a little bit differently today. Far Right Latina Girlfriend is on a business trip. She's still working. And so I will be self-filming. We are going to be cooking some amazing carnitas today. We got a Boston butt pork shoulder. This is, we got about 10 pounds of pork for about 15 bucks. Alongside that, we're gonna have an orange, a few limes. We got some lard, bacon grease actually, salt, oregano, black pepper, cumin, cinnamon, and an onion. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. First things first, first order of business. I actually didn't show you this, but we got the paper towels, which we're going to, we always wanna use that to dehydrate the meat, although that's actually less important because we're not gonna be searing it first. So we can probably skip that step. But what I do need to do is I do need to cut open this big ass Boston butt piece of pork. And it's a good thing we got this paper towel. So I'm just gonna throw the liquid out before it gets a little crazy. Bear with me. All right, I'm gonna bring this back to the stage. Clean this up just a little bit. Now we're gonna be talking today about a winner's mindset. Right after I slice this bad boy, probably into a third because this is about a 10-pound cut again. And so I'm not gonna be cooking 10 pounds of this bad boy, but I will be cooking about 3 pounds of it. So we're gonna slice this using my nice Damascus steel knife. Frankly, this might be closer to 4 pounds if we're being accurate, which we like to be. Okay, there we go. 4 pounds. Have the rest hang out right here while we cook it. And drop your questions below. I can see any of them pop up while my head is not down cutting up the meat. Okay, so what we're gonna wanna do first is we're going to cut this into about 2 by 2 inch cubes. So let me put this in the sink real quick so it doesn't get in the way. All right, we're gonna cut this into 2 inch by 2 inch cubes, which would require about 1 cut down the center. Should have sharpened the knife before we did this, man. This is a thick cut, but we'll be all right. Cool. All righty. And then once we got this thing cut up, we're gonna cut this into, cut it again. Cut that again. So we can get, let's see, so we got 4 strips like this. We're gonna cut these about these are about 8 inches wide. So we're gonna cut these 3 times each. So we're gonna get 16 different cubes of pork before we season them up and throw them on there. Okay, so this won't be that complicated, but a winner's mindset might be. And so I was talking to a very talented individual on the phone last night. I met him after sharing the emotional recognition test, which you guys might have seen me email about, you might have seen me tweet about. But this emotional recognition test, I think, is one of the most predictive tests for someone's ability to succeed in a sales role. If you don't have that test, email me, DM me, let me know what you do, and I'll send you this test. I gave this test to my colleagues at Google in sales. Most of the salespeople scored higher than me. And I noticed that everybody who scored like in the 90th percentile or above did well in sales. So it wasn't about how smart you were, you know, according to school. It wasn't about so much how hard you worked even, because everybody there worked somewhat hard. It was really about how well could you understand the emotions of people that you were talking to. So I talked to somebody on the phone last night. He scored incredibly high on this emotional recognition test. Incredibly high on it. Take a breather right now. Get the hands dried off. So this gentleman scored very high on the emotional recognition test. We're going to start, we're actually going to wash our hands. My girlfriend's been wanting me to wash my hands better, so I'll show you me washing my hands. So this gentleman scored very high on the emotional recognition test, and he also worked in a finance role, so he was like cognitively very proficient. Anytime I meet somebody who scores both high on an EQ test, high on an IQ test, I think, I want to mentor this person. This person's a high potential individual. So he and I got on the phone. He was talking about, well, if he hits his sales numbers, he's going to make a $300,000 commission this year on top of his, very modest base salary, but it's a commission-driven role. And I tried to explain to him, you are a talented individual. It's not going to be easy for you to make $300,000 as a commission, but it's going to be just as hard for you to make $3 million as it is for you to make $300,000. And it all depends on what game you're playing, right? And so for him, what I was saying is, he needs to raise money to run his own fund. Because if you are smart, you are capable of succeeding in a corporate bureaucracy. You have to jump through all of the hoops to get any reasonable high compensation position. But because this gentleman was talented, both quantitatively and emotionally, I was convincing him that he needs to basically run his own firm. And the thing was, as long as you can convince people to trust you and to invest in you, you can run your own firm. And he's, well, what if I fail? What if I this? What if I that? And I said, yeah, those are all great questions, but the answer is you just need to convince people that the correct thing to do is trust you. And once you boil it all down, once you boil down sales to convincing people to trust you, then you realize that there's always going to be pushback to what you're proposing. You need to be smart enough and emotionally intelligent enough to recognize when that pushback is coming. And make sure y'all can see this. And then you need to respond to it. But it doesn't matter if the pushback is coming to you asking for $10,000 or $100,000 or $500,000. The game is the same. You need to recognize people's emotions and push back when they're wrong. Okay, wonderful. So we have our smashed garlic. I should have told you we were smashing garlic. We have our cubed up pork. So what we're going to first do with the cubed up pork is we're going to add some salt. To the cubed up pork. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to the cubed up pork. We're going to add a little bit of cumin to the cubed up pork. Shake that. Add a little cumin. That's a lot of cumin. And then we're going to add a little bit of oregano to the cubed up pork. All right. Then what we're going to do, we're going to flip this and do the same on the other side. So, and so what I was telling him as he was trying to say, well, it's going to be hard. And I said, yeah, it's going to be hard. Anything you do is going to be hard. It requires work. You have to do it. You have to convince people to trust you. It made me realize, something that I've known for a while, but that winners start with the end result. They start with the outcome that they want, and they convince themselves that it's going to happen. Because if you don't convince yourself that the outcome that you want is going to happen, you won't put the work towards it. So you need to start with, and as much as I think all these people who talk about visualize this and what is the word? Manifest. All these manifest gurus are kind of con artists, but they're not wrong, because what you think about, your actions end up aligning behind. So if you think about being successful in this new domain and starting your own business, and you think about it all the time, and your actions align with doing the things that are necessary to be successful, like lo and behold, you'll be a little bit more successful than if you didn't approach it that way. All right, so now that we salted the other side, we're going to add a little bit of pepper to the other side. And then we're going to put more cumin on here. And we're going to put a little bit of oregano. And one thing that I forgot to add, cinnamon. So we're going to start putting some cinnamon on. Okay, great. Now that we have put the necessary materials on, we're going to put it in our friend, our Ninja Foodie that I got at Costco for like $170. Okay, Kaylee Pace, I'm making carnitas. Sorry, I did not see your comment, but I see it now. We're making carnitas. So we're gonna start putting the pork into the foodie, fat side up. So you can't see it, but fat side up in the foodie. Not all the pieces are gonna have a ton of fat, but the ones that do are gonna go fat side up. Fat side up, fat side up, fat side up, fat side up. And so, mindset, you hear people talking about how mindset is everything. And a lot of them are con artists, but it's not wrong, because your mindset precedes your actions. Your actions are ultimately what's most important. So you can think all the things you want. If you don't do anything, it doesn't matter. But your mindset is the most important thing, which is why it's important to get your mind right. It's important to surround yourself with successful individuals who think well. Okay, we're going to wash our hands one more time real quick, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do in the foodie. Bear with me. Okay, so we got all that good stuff in there. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to slice up our orange, slice up some limes, do one more. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the juice, spread this juice all over the pork, and then once we do it, we're going to throw the peel in. So we're going to cook these with the peel. Throw all the juice on, throw it on with the peel. Throw all the juice on. That's going to add some sweetness to the mix. It's going to make it taste good. Throw that on, and then we're going to throw some limes in. Same thing. Juice it all up. Couple more times. If you got any mindset questions, obviously drop them below, because that is the discussion topic of today. We got some more limes. Keep juicing this bad boy. Wonderful. Add another one right here. Another one. Get a lot of lime because we didn't have a ton of orange juice on here because we didn't have a ton of oranges. I didn't feel like buying more. Okay, boom, last one. Last one on here. Okay, we're gonna tuck that away. We're gonna take our garlic. We're gonna throw our garlic in between, all around, make it nice and tasty. Okay, boom, we got that. And then we're also gonna throw some onions in there. So we're gonna slice this up. Similar to what we do with our braised beef, we're gonna peel this like boom, boom, boom. And then we're actually gonna cut it in eighths just so it can fit a little bit better. So we got that, and then we're gonna cut that one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. Okay. Then we're gonna start tucking these things away. Make this nice and juicy. Oh, my eyes are watering. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, a lot of pepper, huh? Okay. Probably going to make this the last onion quarter that we're going to use, just because we're covering all this good stuff up. Okay, great. Now that we have all that stuff used, we're going to take our bacon grease, just gonna lather it over everything, especially the pieces that didn't have a ton of fat on them, because we want the fat to cook through, come to the bottom to make it nice and rich. And then we're gonna take our chicken bone broth that I didn't show you at first, and then we're gonna pour put about a cup and a half on there. So here's what we got. And we are going to put that on the braise setting on the Ninja, come back in about 3 hours. Then we're going to saute it for about 12 minutes or so. Then we're going to transfer it to a cookie sheet, baking tray, broil in the oven for about 8 minutes. Then it's gonna be great. Thank you for tuning in. I'll show you guys on Twitter how Chef Alex did. Of course, we'll find out in several hours that Chef Alex didn't miss.